Hi Virgo, welcome to October. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And this month we have a new moon in Libra on October 6th. And then just after that, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn after having been retrograde for months. Then we have Saturn going direct on the 10th and in Aquarius. And then we have Mercury will be retrograde most of the month until the 18th when it goes direct in Libra. And then Jupiter goes direct at the same time in Aquarius on the 18th. And then on the 20th, we have a full moon in Aries. So we'll get into the astrology later. Let's see what the cards say for Virgo. What does Virgo need to know about love and relationships for the month of October 2021? What does Virgo need to know about love and relationships for October 2021? What does Virgo need to know? Okay, hold on. Five of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the Ten of Swords in the recent past, the Temperance card, the Four of Swords, the Empress, the Four of Pentacles, the Star, the Two of Cups, and the Emperor as the card at the bottom of the deck. So, you start the month off with the Five of Cups, crossed by the Eight of Pentacles, sorry. So the Five of Cups is, it's a card of regret and focusing on losses from the past. So you could be thinking about a past relationship that didn't work out and wishing things that you had done things differently or things had ended differently, because I'm seeing the Ten of Swords, which is there was an ending. So you might be healing from the ending of a relationship or thinking of the past and all your losses, but instead of focusing on what you still have to build with, because there's two cups still full. But you're focusing on everything that happened in the past, like, well, I lost this, I lost that, And it's like there's a sense of sorrow or regret about past relationships, past actions. Now, you do have the Eight of Pentacles crossing this. So I think there's a potential to start over, because the Eight of Pentacles is like the Apprentice card, where someone's just at the beginning stages of something, and they have yet to see where it's going to go. So even though you've had losses, there is potential to begin again. And you have the Four of Cups here in the past. The Four of Cups is a card of boredom, dissatisfaction, not feeling valued or appreciated. So maybe you were in a relationship where you felt the other person didn't care about you or wasn't giving you what you needed, or you just were bored with the person. And even though love was being offered to you, you weren't really ready to accept that love. It wasn't quite exactly what you were looking for. It's like, well, yeah, it's okay, but that's not what I want. So there's a sense of dissatisfaction. And there's also an energy of looking to see what else is out there. Maybe you were in a relationship, you weren't happy, and you're thinking, well, maybe I need to be with somebody else. Maybe if I change, find someone new, I'll get what I want. So you could have had an ending, the Ten of Swords is like, it's over, it's done. And then you were searching for this new love or this new connection that was going to give you what you need. Now the thing that I'm seeing here coming up in the future is the Temperance and the Four of Swords. So the Temperance is a card of learning how to compromise, finding the middle way, not going to extremes. So if you're thinking like a person is all bad or all good, you have to learn to see, I mean, the relationships, there are good, and everybody knows this, that there are good things about the relationship, there are things that irritate you about the person. So you have to look at all sides, and you can't just focus on one and exclude the other. So yeah, maybe when this person does this, I can't stand it, but then there are other things about this person that I really love. So temperance is about learning how to compromise, learning how to see things from both sides of the situation. So I think that's the lesson that you're going to be learning this month, is because the temperance can bring you someone that you really are compatible with. It's just that you're very different and you have to meet each other halfway. You can't just have the person be everything. You can't have a perfect relationship. There's no such thing as perfection. Like everything works out. We never fight. We're always in love. Relationships are growing and constantly evolving, and you have to kind of work through the hills and valleys, So in the future, you have the Four of Swords. So I feel like you're still healing and you're feeling maybe kind of lonely. Maybe you need time out to think about what happened, especially if you recently ended a relationship and it hasn't been, you're still feeling the effects of it. And part of the problem could be, because this Emperor next to the Ten of Swords, it could be that one of you did not contribute equally to the partnership. One of you was very dependent, expecting the other person to do everything, not stepping up to the plate to contribute, because a relationship it takes two to tango, So you can't expect the other person to do everything. So either you were the one doing everything and the other person was just sitting back, or it was the reverse. Your partner was doing everything and you were just sitting back expecting to be waited on hand and foot or something. So if it's you, that's a lesson you need to learn. If it was your partner, then you're like looking for something else. You don't want to repeat that pattern. Now the positive thing is you have the Empress here, but it's in your negative thinking sector. So when the Empress and the Emperor come together, you have the potential, plus you have the Two of Cups as an outcome, you have the potential to have a soulmate connection. So there is someone on the horizon that's coming. It may not be right now, or it may be that you've just met someone, but you're taking it really slow. You can have that dream. You have the star here in your wish fulfillment sector, but you have to start thinking more positive about the possibilities. In the environment, you have your Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is about someone who's holding on tightly, who's concerned about security, financial security. So you can't look at, it could be that you're in a partnership only because it represents security to you, but you're not really happy. So some of you might be leaving a partnership that's like so-so, that's not really fulfilling, looking for that soulmate connection, looking for that that love, that dream, because the star is about hope and a dream. You want to be with someone that you feel really gets you. You don't want a relationship that's more like a transaction, okay? Because the Four of Pentacles is like holding on too tightly, caring too much about money, being too controlling. Maybe you have a partner who's too controlling, or you're trying to control the outcome. So you kind of have to go with the flow and lighten up and not expect perfection, and not be with someone just because of a financial arrangement. It has to be because you want to be with that person, because you respect who they are, you have fun with them, you love them, and you have that potential. You have the star here and the Two of Cups. But I still feel like so I think that's coming for you in the future, but you need to take your time, because I think you're still healing from the past. But don't dwell too much on the past, because you don't want to be you want to turn around and see what you could still work with. You still have hope for the future. Okay, some things may not have worked out. Some things ended in a bad way. And maybe there was hurt on both sides, or you felt devastated, because the Ten of Swords energy is pretty down, like you're down for the count, But there's hope with the star. You can come out of that. But if you have to learn the lessons of the past, learn from the past, learn the mistakes, be willing to admit your mistakes, And that way you don't make them again with the new person, because there is a new person coming here. I don't know if it's new or old, but there's hope for a connection with the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is a partnership that you really see eye to eye with. It's a soulmate connection. You're communicating. You've got this special bond, especially with the Empress and the Emperor here. The only thing you need to watch out for is you have to not be rigid, not be too controlling. Don't always look for the flaws. Look for the good things in the person. See what's wonderful about them. Focus on the beautiful things. Don't focus on the flaws. Because that's when you start to kill a relationship. If you focus on what's wrong with the person and you're criticizing them, it kills love. But if you focus on the beauty of that person and the beauty of your connection, and you learn how to compromise and work with each other and meet each other in the middle, you could have something really beautiful. So let's see what the astrology is saying for you. So this month, you have a new moon in Libra in your second house of money and self-worth and values. And this moon is conjunct Mars, and there's also Mercury there. So you're coming up, there could be some financial crisis this month where you're thinking, I've got to do something. I have to take action. I have to create some new source of income. So especially if a relationship ended and you were dependent on that person's income, you may be looking for a new job or new ways to bring money in. And with Mars there, because your expenses are going to be rising when Mars is in your second house, but it's also giving you the energy to go out and get, to bring in more money. And your values might be changing too. Now, this new moon is in conjunct Uranus in the 9th house. So it's possible you might have to go back to school and get some more training if you're looking for a new job or one that pays more. You might have to go and get, and it might be getting you out of your comfort zone. You might even have to travel. There could be a job that's at a distance and you change your residence to take this job, or you have to go for training that's at a distance. In any case, it's taking you out of your comfort zone, but the end result will be positive because you'll have new skills, you'll be making more money, you'll feel more secure financially. That's coming. Mercury is trining Jupiter. Mercury's in the second, and it's trining Jupiter in the 6th. Now, the 6th house is your house of your day-to-day, employment on the job. It's also health. So you could hear some good news about an employment situation or your job. Maybe you get a promotion, and you're making more money, but you have to get training. So there's training involved, there's travel involved, and it could be surprise developments. Because with Uranus being Uranus is at 13 degrees Taurus. It's really a tight aspect with the new moon at 13 degrees Libra. So it's bringing surprise. It's freeing you from whatever situation you're dealing with financially, and also about self-worth, where you have to start thinking, yeah, I deserve more money, or I deserve, I'm not going to settle for less anymore. But it's also, because it's an inconjunct aspect, it's making you feel uncomfortable. So you have to kind of get out of your comfort zone to benefit from this sudden opportunity that comes your way. But it will be worth it. It will be worth it. Because the 9th house is long distance travel, higher education, teaching, learning, even your belief systems. What do I believe? What do I believe about me? And what do I value? And are people valuing me? Do I feel valued? Am I getting paid what I'm worth? Am I accepting too little in love even, or money? Saturn is in your 6th house with Jupiter, so you are working really hard. You've been working really hard lately. But don't worry, your reward will come, because Saturn is making a trine to the 10th, to the North Node in your 10th house. Saturn always rewards hard work. So if you're doing the work and you're putting the effort in, you're going to get the reward. So just hang in there, especially now. At this new moon, Pluto is going to go direct. Saturn is going direct. Pluto will go direct on the 6th, right around this new moon. Saturn will go direct on the 10th. And Saturn is in your 6th house of work, so things are going to start to come back online. If you felt that things were stagnating, they will start to move forward. Now, Mercury is your ruling planet and that's been retrograde since the end of September. So it's more important for you as a Virgo. Virgos and Geminis are more affected by the Mercury retrograde, unless you were born with Mercury retrograde in your chart. But Mercury retrograde can bring people back from the past. You may have to go back and fix things. You might be reconnecting with friends and lovers from the past. It's not a good time to sign contracts unless you're dealing with someone from like a past employer or a past relationship. But if you're starting something new, you want to check all the details and make sure you read the fine print. But when Mercury goes direct, it will also, on the 18th, it's going to go direct with Jupiter. Jupiter brings opportunity. So things are going to start coming unstuck. If you're feeling stuck and nothing is moving, that's going to change. You have Venus moving into your 4th house on the 7th, right after this new moon. And that's going to be good for home matters. Things will be more harmonious in your home, with home and family. You might even be thinking about decorating. Maybe especially if you moved into a new place, you might be thinking, I want to make this prettier. I want to be painting or get new furniture, new rugs, whatever. Freshen up your nest. Now, the full moon in Aries happens on the 20th, and that's in your 8th house. That's across your financial houses. So there's going to be some revelation around money and self-worth issues and values, and the money that you get from a partner, financial support, and also about intimacy too, because the 8th house is about intimacy. The 8th house is about transformation, personal transformation, confronting your demons, confronting areas in your life that you need to be aware of, and how do I change? How do I change? And it's going to be intense because Pluto's in the 5th house, and it's forming a T-square to this full moon. And Pluto in the 5th can bring an intense relationship. So there could be also power struggles and manipulation with children or with a romantic partner. Or you could also realize that there's a creative project you really want to do, but you're worried about the money. You feel like you want to do something that's creative, that speaks to your soul. You don't want to just do a job for the money. You want to do something that you really love. Could be some kind of art, where there's creative self-expression, like writing or painting or music, whatever. But it involves a lot of work, and you're worried about the money. And there could be, like with Pluto's, this full moon is conjunct, the sun is conjunct Mars. So if you're not getting what you deserve in a relationship, either you're not getting the love or you're not getting the financial rewards for the work that you're putting in, Mars is going to cause you to really fight for that. And Mars square Pluto is a volatile combination. So you want to make sure you're not overreacting, and don't let anybody push your buttons, especially if you have children that are wanting certain things and you can't give them. There might be some challenges. They may want financial support and you don't have the money, or there might be some arguments over money. Now Mercury is in your 2nd house. It's giving you money-making ideas. So you're thinking of ways, how can I bring more money in? And it's sextile Venus in the 4th house. So there could be something maybe you could do at home, maybe some kind of creative project that you work from your home doing, and it could bring more money in. What else? Let's see. Oh, and Venus is in conjunct Uranus. Well, if you're going to be juggling a lot this month, but Uranus wants to break you free. So you might be working on some kind of communication project from home that's just putting stress on your life, because you're having to reach out to a wider audience or a wider group of people, because the 9th house is like long distance, foreign. It can bring in money, but it's going to be a challenge. It's going to just add more to your plate. So, because you have Saturn in the 6th house. Saturn in the 6th house is like you're a slave to your job. You're constantly working. So, you want to take care of your health when Saturn. You have to be serious about your health and not overdo it when Saturn's in the 6th house. If you're working too hard, give yourself downtime to rest and recharge. But there are going to be many opportunities to advance in your career. You just have to don't take on more than you can handle. Know what your limits are, but don't settle for less either. So I feel that you're really going to fight for what you deserve this month, and you can get it. Don't settle. But you have to also let go of the past. And don't let the new situation don't let a new lover or a new relationship pay for the sins of a past person. Don't expect to repeat the past. Learn lessons from the past and move forward with hope. And embrace the opportunities that are coming your way, even if it takes you out of your comfort zone a little bit. Be willing to relinquish some control and go with the flow and learn how to compromise. And you've got love coming. Here's the Two of Cups. So there's some kind of partnership. If it's not a love relationship, it could be a business partnership where the two of you really get along and see eye to eye. But as long as you heed all the other things that I've said earlier about, giving yourself time to rest, give yourself time to heal, don't be too critical, don't repeat the past, but work to make things better. You can find yourself achieving a dream or a goal that you wanted for a long time. That's bringing you prosperity and happiness. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, Virgo. If you did, click on the like button, leave a comment below if it resonated with you. If you'd like a private reading, that's where we discuss just your specific situation, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website, and we can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, thank you for supporting this channel. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Have a wonderful October, and I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.